Hello everyone, welcome back to Man Cave Storytime. That's what it feels like here lately anyway. But today we're going to do something that some of you might like to see. I don't know, but we're going to try it. We're going to do a little unboxing and put something together and see how it works. So what I've got here is, you might be able to tell from the picture, this is that new 12-inch brake that goes in your press. The Harbor Freight 3-in-1 press brake slip roll thingamabobber. It's been working great, but if you've got any material that's got any thickness to it, that is not going to do the job. If you keep your eye out, you can catch, these special sales like this particular weekend that I'm doing this. They had a 15% off one item, so I was able to get this at 15% off, which was great. So I went ahead and snagged it up. I probably will either adapt this one, make some modifications to it, or make a little bit bigger one in the future. But for now, this right here is going to serve our needs, especially on the bandsaw project that I've been working on that you've probably not seen anything on yet. So anyway, all right, let's get this unboxed. Let's see what it looks like. And let's see how easy it is to put together. Pretty simple. You can open it up. Instructions, maybe. We'll see. Maybe, maybe not. It is boxed really well. Now, I do have to say, Harbor Freight has seemed to have been improving on their products quite a bit. The last few things that I have purchased from them, I've been well satisfied with. Holy cow. So, there's a box inside of a box. Oh, I started saying there's another 3 boxes. So, here's another box that's got some stuff in it. So, we'll figure out what that is. Here is the bottom plate. So, let's get all this stuff out of the box and then we can go over everything. I hope got that and that. We got more cardboard. We've got probably the guide pins. Now this is one of the things that I was interested in. We have a metal supplier right down the road from us, and you can go in there every so often and catch some drops and stuff at a really good price, and they do a really good job. This is a piece of, what is this, 1/4 inch? I think this is a 1/4 inch plate. Looks pretty straight, but what this is designed to do is to set on the base of the press. Holes are chamfered on it. It's still got the flame. This has been cut out with a CNC plasma. It does not look like a laser cut. So I'm okay with that, as long as my holes are good and it works. But instead of trying to rig something up for this to set on when you put everything together, they have this nice handy dandy plate, and this thing is, ooh, it's greasy, so we're gonna have to do some cleaning up on some stuff. So we've got the base plate, we've got the lower die. Let's see here. These should be the guide pins, and they are guide pins, springs. It's got the nuts on the bottom, so that should work pretty good. The holes obviously are not countersunken for the nuts, which is okay. Would it have been cool if that would have been threaded? Probably so, but it's not going to be a problem because this will sit in between the channels of the press anyhow. So that shouldn't be an issue. And it's not like I'm going to be using it on a table. If I had an arbor press or something that was that big, maybe so, but I do not. Those look ground pretty clean. All right, this should be our upper die and then any hardware we need. So what do we have here? We've got another piece of cardboard. All righty. Hey, pretty cool. All right, got a couple of tools, a little bit of miscellaneous hardware. We'll slap this puppy open real quick. We'll never find that again. A couple of Allen wrenches, washer, another washer over there somewhere, and we've got our base. So let's take the ruler out. They advertise this as 12 inches. I don't see any reason why it would not be, but I can tell you what, they surely did not want this thing getting rusty because it has got grease all over it, which is nice. Oh, well, kind of nice. I don't like to have the grease all over me, but we'll get it all cleaned up eventually. That looks ground to a nice edge. It's kind of sharp. We may end up making a couple of little shoes on it to give it a little bit more of a radius, because this is a pretty deep V, if you can see that. So we may make some adapters on this so we can do some shallower bends if we need to. Of course, you just press it down however far you need to go, but if I want to do a nice radius corner or whatever, we can do that. So let's get this cleaned up and get some of this grease off of me, and we'll throw it together really quick because, well, let's just go ahead and throw it together and then I can clean it up in a few minutes so we can see how long it is. So the first thing that we will probably want to do is wipe it off just a touch. This side here I don't see one side that looks ground more than the other, but the bottom, or what I'm calling the bottom, both sides seem to be chamfered about the same, so it shouldn't matter either way. All right, so I think the first thing I'm going to do is put the guide pins in. And you do want a little bit of lubrication on, but you don't want to go crazy, because if your shop's like mine, mine's full of dust, and that can give you some stiction on it also. So have a little bit of play. So let's put these in. We don't want to tighten these down completely yet, but I will grab a wrench for it pretty quick, or actually I'll get a impact and a socket so we can hammer them in place when it's time. But we just want to snug them up a little bit. And the reason for that is once we get the lower die set in place, we can set the upper die on it, make sure if there's any centering or whatever it needs to be done, because we want it to go up and down nice and easy. So let me grab a socket real quick. All right, in case you're wondering, it is a 19 millimeter or 3/4, either one should work well. Let's get the other one set on there. It's not going to set completely flat on the top of this roll card I got here. All right, so those are there. And next we will take the lower die. I will wipe this one off a little bit. I'm sure it's not precision ground, but it is really, doesn't look like it's just been hacked off with a bandsaw. Yes, I'm appreciative of that now. It does have some grease in the holes. Just want to make sure it's not going to be so much in there that it's going to cause our cap head bolts to not bottom out. Let me go dig up that washer that took off on us just a minute ago. Aha, I did find it. That's amazing. All right, let's stick these in. Pretty simple. This is probably one of the easier things to put together. Well, it definitely is one of the easier things to put together. Yeah, I know you can't see it. It's just 2 screws going in 2 holes. So we're going to leave that a little loose. Also, now before I put the springs on, like I said, we want to put our die on, upper die. Let's lower it down in place. Let's make sure everything is where it should be. So this die here, putting it all the way down, looks like it's got a nice good fit, so I'm pleased with that. Put this there, take the little Allen wrench that they gave us, snug up the 2 bottom bolts. Here we go, and there we go. All right, feels like it's got a good slide on it, so we'll go ahead and tighten up the guide pins. Probably has some torque set specs, I don't know, some ugga-duggas seem pretty good. I see that just tightened it up. Spring should do pretty well with it. Let's make sure. If you need to, you can always loosen them up and readjust some, but I think once we're up in there and we move it, use it a little bit, we'll be good. I've heard a couple other YouTubers comment on the fact that, why do they have these on there? You don't need these. You probably don't. And if you're going to be taking it on and off of there quite a bit, it could probably be pretty aggravating. But if you're going to be doing any questionable bends, something you think might be pushing the limits of this device, it probably would not be a bad idea to have that anchored in. So now, oh, that'll work well. So now we'll swing over here. We'll set this up in the press. I have a couple pieces I made for the bandsaw project, and that's the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to get those. I just got them off the plasma table back there. As you can see the screen, just got done cutting it out. So we'll throw them up in there and see how well they do. I'm going to be interested because it's got a step bend on each side of the bracket, and it's 12 inches, so it's going to be the max width. It's only like a 090 thick material, but I didn't want to cut any slots in it to I'd have to go back and tack weld or anything like that. So anyway, let's move over here to the brake and let's get it set up and let's give her a shot. All right, so I'm going to try to get you the best camera angle I can here. I like to mark my bends, of course, to make sure I bend them right. But I like to mark them on the side that I want to put it in the die. So that way I make sure that it's going the directions. And what we want to end up with here basically is a Z. So this is going to come up. We're going to bend in on this side, so it's going to go down. And then this side here is going to come back out. So a lot of times you have to, well, most every time, you need to make sure that you kind of look at it, kind of bend it in your mind, because it's going to go up, and then once it goes up, you've got to flip this over and be able to get it in here for it to go on the next side. And the way it is right now, if I bend that outside bend first, I think I'm going to have an issue. But I think I can bend the inside bend, which is going to have it down this way. Then it's going to be like that, and it's going to be tough either way, getting both of those bends that close together. I may have to put it up in the all-in-one to see if I can get it, because this is so close in here, or not so close. But anyway, we can try it and we'll see how it goes. It's two really tight bends right off the bat, and yeah. Anyway, let's give it a shot. See if we bend this one first, then we have to get to the other one, right? And that's only going to be in a little bit, so it's going to bend that down. We're going to flip it over. That's going to be a tough one. We may bend this one first. Let's bend the inside one first, and then maybe we can get to the outside one. All right, so I'm right on my line. I want to back it up and set it. Now, that's one of the things about this that's a little more difficult, is once you get it set, it'll bend really nice, but I don't want to move it or anything, and I don't want to go too fast. So I can still move it around just a little bit right there and right there. Now, the stuff you might have noticed just then, I've got reliefs in where my lines go. One thing is that helps me line it up after I get done cutting it, and to know where I want to put my lines. The other thing is as you make bends, all this metal in this corner tries to compress, and it squishes out, for lack of better terms. And these reliefs help keep it from doing that, and it helps keep that area from tearing any. So let's give her a shot. We want 90s on both of these. That's all the way. It should be a 90, maybe a little bit over. Let's pull it out and look. It's got a pretty significant radius in it, a little more than what I was expecting. But what I was afraid of is I'm not going to be able to get it in here to do this next bend. So I'm going to have to try to do it in the other one. But this first bend is nice. I may make another die shoe that'll sit in here. That'll have a really shallow V in it, so we can do that. So we'll do the other one, and then we'll just have to put it in the other brake to get that tight bend. But right. Alrighty. So there you go. Did a really nice job on this 080 stuff. I'm pleased with that. Got a couple other small pieces I'm gonna bend up real quick, and we'll move on from there. All right, so here's the next piece we want to bend, and we should be able to do this all on here. As you can see, I got lines all on one side because I want it to go all in one direction. Inevitably, it needs to be 90 degrees. I want basically 45 degrees off of this one, 45 degrees off of that one, and the same on this side. And what this is it's a support bracket for the gear reduction for the bandsaw. So let's get it set up in here, and then I'll show you how we're going to manage that. All right, let's go with it. Now, the thing we have to remember is, since this is on both sides, this was something I forgot to tell you just a minute ago too, we want a total of 45 degrees. It's going to be right 22.5 on this side when we're measuring it, and that'll give us a total of 45. And we're right there. So we're good with that. And we will back that off. We'll go to our next one. Stick this back on. Make sure we get it lined up. We'll go back to our 45 or 22.5 again. Close enough. We're not building rocket ships. So it had a little bit of an issue there because we couldn't get it that tight in the corner. So we need to look at that. That's one of the things you need to pay attention to. I think I could probably, since it's got a bend, I think I can put it in there and true it up a little bit. We're going to go ahead and do the other one too, but this is not a very tight radius. So I think we're going to need to make a die that's got a tight radius in there, or a smaller slot, whatever. That's going to be fun. I'll put it on the bottom and check it. Put it this way. I can get a good eye on it. That's right at it. Same thing. So we'll tweak it a little bit to get the look out of it we want. Alrighty, so that should have us where we want. It's a little overbent, but it's not a big deal. So we could straighten it out. The thing to remember on this is, if you have something like this that's going to be in that ledge part of, or that V part, you're going to have just some distortion where you don't want. So you will have to do a little tweaking. realistically, you can set it in the vise, tap it over with the hammer, however you want to go about it. But for me, I'm gonna throw it back here in the 3-in-1, see if I can tweak out this a little bit. But overall, I'm pleased with it. It's definitely designed for larger pieces, I guess. Well, up to 12 inches, but thicker pieces straight. If you're going in an area that's got a 45 or something, obviously it's probably not going to work quite right. But I think for the most part, for most of the stuff that I ordinarily do, I think that's going to be a winner. So if you're thinking about getting one and you have a shop press to put it in, I'd do it again. I think it worked out well. So hopefully we'll do some upgrades and stuff on the shop press before long. I hope you liked the video. If you got any questions, any concerns, anything else you'd like to see about it, drop me a comment below and I'll see what I can do. And hopefully here soon you'll be able to see how all these parts fit up for our bandsaw build. Have a great one. Appreciate you watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And as always, have a blessed day.